Hello friends, and welcome to your lunar flow practice. I know that I'm committed to teaching my classes outdoors in order to receive the extra healing benefits of nature. However, the loft I'm staying at in Arcata, California, there is an incredible live calypso band just outside my window practicing on the streets, and they're incredible. I could not get myself to go outdoors for sunset today. Sometimes being inside can be as nourishing as being outside. But I pray that you are outside and receiving that healing presence of nature's vibration. And I'm here by my beloved plant friends. So let's turn inward, closing our eyes. Perhaps finding a hero's posture, heels on top, sit bones on top of heels. And taking a hand to heart, a hand to belly in the mudra of radical self-acceptance. To begin, as we always do, by drawing inward, by welcoming ourselves back to our bodies, by offering ourselves the kindness and the gentleness of slowing down, of dropping in. Finding a breath that meets the floor. And tuning in to what your body feels like, this halfway point between summer solstice and fall equinox. As you're ready, let the eyes softly open. Start with a few breaths. We'll inhale the hands down to the floor, out to the sides, and all the way up. Reach up and stretch up, gentle. Exhale, float the hands down like they're floating on clouds. An inhale now might involve coming up onto the knees. If you are in hero's pose, reaching up, expanding, lifting. And an exhale down through center now. Centering us in to this midway point of the year. And last time, perhaps up on the knees, big expansive welcome to practice. And an exhale to drop back down. Beautiful. Drawing one hand to the side, extend the opposite leg and meet me in this supported side plank. You might want to support your knee with a blanket here. So we'll be returning here. So you inhale, draw the top arm nice and long, and exhale up overhead to take a big side stretch. Ooh. As you breathe into your body, we'll work with this Lughnasad energy, with this midway to fall energy by finding what feels good in our bodies. So notice what feels good as you drop into this stretch. And then inhale the arm back to the sky and around to the side waist. Go ahead and touch your side waist all the way from hip to ribs. That's what you're going to use to get you up. So come to fingertips, come on up. Here we are. As you exhale, drop one hand down the leg. Take a big, delicious side stretch. Lifting up on inhale and exhaling to rainbow out the side waist. Again, noticing what feels good first. Breathing into what you find and allowing that sensation to spread. As you inhale, rise back up, again using the power of the sideways, slow exhale all the way to the floor, letting that extended foot be your stable base. And then again, an inhale rises you back, and an exhale drops you over into gape. And we'll continue this flow just a few times, slow with the breath, tuning in to what feels good today. And even if it's sensation and you're not quite sure if it's good or if it's neutral, let your awareness rest there a little longer. And offer the suggestion that any sensation is good. And just see how your body responds to that. Last full cycle here. Inhale. As you're ready, just meet me at center. From here, take the hands to hips and slide the outstretched leg forward. Now, as you're anchored into the knee, my heels deep, my knees out to the side, and we'll walk it a little further forward. So you stay where you are. I'm going to walk myself a little further forward. Bring my hands to the floor now. Walk it forward, forward, back, shin, turn it into the side. So both the front leg and the back leg are at an angle. And from here, with hands to floor, let's go ahead and stir the cauldron of our pelvis. Just stir right into all the muscles of the inner outer thighs. It might be a gentle circle or just some snake-like movements through hips, maybe through shoulders, neck. Maybe a little cat-cow action. And here's the moment again as we check in with our garden midway through the year, as we check in with the garden of our life, with our New Year's intentions. At this midpoint, we start by really just noticing what feels good. So feel in your body what feels interesting here. And if this feels like a challenge, blocks are welcome under the palms. Now, from this shape, you stay where you are. From this shape, here's my challenge to you. Hands come to hips. This front foot is stable. Can you either tuck the back toes or use the top of the foot to lift all the way up to standing? We made it up. And then from there, go ahead and draw into tree pose. That foot might come into the inner ankle, or it might even rise up a little higher towards the inner thigh. The hands connect at heart center. A big inhale to lift and lengthen, harden, to invite the arms to expand and reach. Whew. And from here, go ahead and start some exploration. Side to side. With your breath, just like we played with to start. Whew. And here's where the balance challenge comes in, and even some core work. And as you play side to side, you might even begin to explore moving in another direction. And you could use my movements as a guide. But I encourage you to find your own path. And I encourage you, like me, to get yourself starting to move to a place where you're going to fall. So we want to bring ourselves into a challenge here for the balance. It's like a tree pose challenge. Maybe you find a back bend, maybe it's asymmetrical. Another round of breath in your creative tree. And then find the stillness at your center again. Find the spaciousness of your breath. Good work. From here, take that same leg. Let's come out the way we came in. So that same leg's going to slide right behind you and step down on the floor. Easy transition, yeah? And then from here, that front leg swings back around. This is where we just were. Drop back into that side stretch and inhale on up into gate pose. Next time you rise up to center, take that foot with you. Again, stand up with me and then draw that foot to inner calf, ankle, or even use the hand, tree pose. Inhale, arms rise. Let's take it into a slight back bend at the top. You might even connect the palms and reach the heart up. And then finding neutral, slow exhale, arms out to the side will be even more challenge as you slide that leg back behind you. Take a knee and swing the leg around. Exhale to drop into side stretch. Inhaling to rise back to center and over. Coming on back. Sweeping foot forward. And then again, a big stand up. You might even move straight into tree pose here. Whoop. And take an inhale, arms rise up. Little back bend at the top. And an exhale, coming down through center. Maybe the hands at heart as you step back and slide wide, side bend. Now I invite you to flow like this twice on your own, moving with your breath. You may move a little faster or a little slower than I do. You may add your own little flourish, your own little expression to it, as we always do. And as you play with it, So you play with this challenge of coming up without hands, which is never an easy feat. I invite you to focus on what feels good in your body. It's so easy to notice things that feel a little out of joint. And of course, if you experience pain or discomfort, make an adjustment. Maybe even do something completely different. But so long as it's sensation, let's label it good and work from there. Noticing the way sensation awakens the inner body, the way sensation even awakens the mind when we really let our focus rest there. Last cycle we'll finish up together wherever you are. Next time you come on up to this lifted posture, we'll make an adjustment with that outer leg and turn the knee and toes over. Find ourselves in this low Viratu shape. Ooh, beautiful opportunity to notice what feels good in the hip structure, to notice sensation, to notice what's new, what brings you alive, and to just let that sensation spread as you draw your awareness there. Where our attention goes, Shakti flows. As you inhale, draw the hands into center at heart. As you exhale, spread from your heart center deep in the front knee, reach the arms out. Let's do it twice more. Inhale, hugging in. And exhale, sliding that kneecap right over the second toe. Staying here to notice what feels good. Sliding as you're ready, back hand down. And then inhaling, front arm up. Find that reverse warrior. If it feels right for your body, a block or fingertips might even work for this one. And if it feels like a struggle, if there's that New Year's resolution that's just been a struggle the whole time, maybe we let that go. So if this feels like a struggle for you, find a way that it feels good. And then breathe right into it, letting that goodness expand. Slow inhale to come back to center. Now let's take that front hand inside the front ankle. Sweep the top arm up. We're in a side angle posture now. And we'll deepen the bend of the front knee if that's possible. And take a round of breath here, even drawing that top arm overhead. Big reach and stretch. Another cycle of breath to find what feels good and to give it the honor and the respect of your attention and your breath. Absolutely fabulous. Let's sweep the arms all the way up and over and around. Here we are in a one-legged tabletop. Tucking back toes, drop into that back heel, stretching out through the calf. Really feel that. Notice what feels good about that stretch. And coming back up to neutral, sweep the knee in, out to the side and around. Let's take 3 circles to juice up the hip joint. And the next time that leg comes center, reach it right back. Maybe reach the opposite arm behind as well. If you're up for a challenge, maybe bend the top knee, sweep the hand to the foot, and kick the foot into the hand. Your gaze is steady and stable. Gaze connecting in with stable core. Now notice what feels good about this. What is stretchy and delicious here? Even if you don't quite have a hold of the foot, you can find that expansion that feels delicious and open in the front body. Last cycle of breath. Slow exhale to release. The knees drop where they are. The hands crawl out a bit more. From here, we take knees, chest between the thumbs, and then chin taps. Inhale forward into cobra pose, low or high. And exhale, child's pose. Resting for a few rounds of breath here or in downward facing dog. Whichever resting posture you've chosen, take a moment to notice minute sensations. Is there somewhere in the ankle that's getting a stretch here? Somewhere in the armpit, maybe? Is there some release in the neck that feels really appropriate, really healing right now? Your body has its own language. It is speaking to you powerfully. Listen in. Notice what's good. As you exhale, we'll drop back onto the knees wherever you were, sweeping back to center. Mimi on the kneecaps. Let's draw that opposite leg out to the side, anchor it down, and come with me now back in to our delicious side stretch, reaching arm overhead. Ooh. If you're like me, you cannot help but bring some moans and groans into your practice. It is just a joy-filled experience, right? That's what keeps us coming back. That and the impact it makes on our life. So really honor that. Honor the deliciousness of the practice and honor your inner strength by coming up when you're ready, and exhale on over to the other side. Completely different experience on this side. It's unique and it demands your attention. Find what feels good, breathe into it. Let's move a few times back and forth. Last full cycle here. Noticing not only is this just amazingly delicious, both of these postures, but it's also deep core work as well, right? That lift to center, meet me there. As you're ready, we'll sweep that front foot right in front. We'll turn the knee at an angle, turn the back knee at an angle. So you stay there. I'm going to shift my direction, hands come inside, and go ahead now, explore this unique thigh stretch. Maybe giving your tail a wag. Maybe even dropping to elbows if you're particularly brave today, or maybe to blocks. Or maybe just finding a really consistent spiral to either side. As you're ready, we'll transition the heel back close, rising up here. We'll tuck the back toes perhaps, so it'll be a little more supportive to rise. We'll garner the strength of our mid-body and slowly come on up and then take that tree pose wherever feels right for you. As you find that tree, we're of course playing with balance as we always do in our practice, whether it's physical balance or inner balance. Drawing the hands to heart center, up and over, and exploring, again, that side waist. We know our bodies are going to feel absolutely excellent after our practice. That's kind of what happens. It's kind of built into the deal for the most part. But what about right now, in this moment? Can you make an adjustment and start to get creative here in a way that feels good for you? Maybe it's expressive or dancey. Maybe that makes you feel silly. Awesome. Breathe right into that. So find a challenge, and this is of course not just for funsies, although that would be great too. No reason to not just do it for creativity, but do find as well that core challenge as you lean side to side until you almost knock yourself off balance. And if you do, double points for you. I honor you for taking yourself into the challenge. Last full breath to play with it. And coming to center, find stillness in your tree pose. Find that inner support of your hips as the muscles of the outer hips hug inside towards your center. Whatever foot is up on the leg, let that hip drop a bit, and the opposite, the supporting leg hip, hugs in even deeper. Take a moment to find stillness. Maybe find closed eyes if you're really up for a challenge. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Let's take that top foot back behind us. Slip slide it back to the knee. Whoop. And then we'll take that same leg out to the side. We're back where we started. Go ahead and slide it over to open. In the side plank, lift and find the gate pose. Inhaling to center, hands at heart or more challenge to bring the hands to the side, rise, and then take it to tree. Inhaling, arms lift upwards, slight back bend in tree. And an exhale to bring the hands down, sliding back onto the top knee and extending the arms and legs. You know this flow. We've been doing it for a minute now. So let your body find it in a way that feels good for you. And then really focus in on what is it about the physical sensations here that feels good. Maybe it just feels good to be here, to have taken this sacred space. We all know we have to fight for it, right? We have to plan for it. It's not easy. So honor yourself for that. That feels good as alone, just to know that you're showing up here. But is there something about the way your breath is moving through your body right now? So powerful yet easy. That feels good. Is there something about the way the mind is calming, the way the mind is settling down? That feels good. And that one can be a little tough to connect in with the mind. Sometimes that brings us out of our body. So it might make even more sense, especially if the mind's really active today, just to simply stay with what's real, what is physically right here with you, what sensations are alive. Could be that you have congestion in your face. Could be your sinuses are congested, and that is not the most pleasurable sensation, right? One way to work with discomfort in our practice is to really focus in on what actually does feel good. The mind can really only focus on so many things at one time. So when we focus on what feels good and we let it spread, we magnify it by giving it our attention. Often those areas of discomfort start to pass. They start to clear. Wherever you are, let's complete one full cycle of our own unique breath flow, our own unique pace. Stepping into the music of our practice, of this flow of the breath. The next time you find yourself at center, you'll go ahead and meet me in that Viratu close to the floor, really grounding variation of Viratu. Check in, knees and toes, front leg hip drops down. Yeah, awesome. And then torso just lifts like a snake drawing out of a basket as the shoulders release like an old coat hanging on a hanger. Just soft shoulders. Notice the power of the posture. Notice the breath and how it fills it. And then inhale, reverse your warrior here. Big lifted, strong, empowered posture, exalted warrior. Staying here, maybe even supporting yourself more with hand on hip. Or sliding the hand down and towards the floor. But keep working the bend of the front knee. A breath here to find what feels good and to focus in. Flood that area with breath and feel the impact. Spread what feels good in the body. That's the magic of our attention. Where our attention goes, Shakti flows, Chi flows, life force flows, energy flows. Last breath here. Inhale slow, use the power of the belly. That's an important transition. From here, could bring the elbow to front thigh or the hand to a block or floor. If that knee is feeling spiky, spicy, spiky, support it, always an option. Internally rotating upper arm, spread from the back knee out through the top fingers. And then back from the top fingers into the heart. An inhale to lift the heart up, and an exhale, slide the heart a little bit underneath that top tricep. Slow inhale to rise, and an exhale to bring the arms all the way around in the opposite direction, tucking toes and opening up the calf. A little front and back, spreading the muscles of the rear leg, seeing if you can access that sensation with your mind, with your attention. And then, as you're ready, maybe lifting back leg to find a square tabletop position. Perhaps reaching the opposite arm out and staying here, or reaching behind, maybe taking a hold of the foot and kicking foot into hand to find expansive, half twisted bow pose here. It's really not twisted, it's stable to center, which requires a lot of hugging in. Hugging the X of your body, your torso. So shoulder to hip, hip to shoulder. Hugging all that energy right into the solar plexus. A big breath to notice what feels good about this pose, what feels empowering. Slow exhale, unwind, release. And then slide the hips side to side. Take a little snake tail. I'm noticing sensations in my glutes from our solar strength class. That's awesome. That's welcome. If you have muscular sensations, exhale, drop again into child's pose, arms extended. And then reaching hands close to each other. Now bend the elbows and draw the thumb to the back of the neck and breathe. Notice what feels good about drawing inward now. Notice what feels good about softness in your body right now. Slowly exhale to unwind, bringing the hands back behind you. Drawing onto the back, dropping the heels as wide as the mat, and then tick, tock, side to side. Now you may have another pose you'd like to play with. You might even rest on one side and take a few breaths there before your Shavasana. And if you do take another posture or stay in the twist, make sure to even yourself out. Wherever you are in your practice right now, let yourself really sink into ease. Notice what feels good now, here, inside your body. And then let that sensation spread as you rest. Namaste.